Arthur was a pineapple king reigning over a tropical empire built on secrets and sharp suits. He thought he was untouchable. But even the sweetest fruit can hide a bitter core. And tonight, the juice was finally turning sour for the mogul. Gina pleaded for him to stay, her tears reflecting the city lights. He didn't look back as he slammed the door on his past. In the cold shadows of a corporate office, Sarah waited. She wasn't just his partner, she was the architect of his potential ruin. They spoke of offshore transfers and ghost accounts, their voices hushed while the rest of the world slept in blissful ignorance. But Sarah had her own agenda, a loyalty that didn't include Arthur. She had already found a buyer for his downfall. The transaction happened in a rain-slicked alleyway, far from the polished marble floors of the boardroom where they once stood. The shadowy watermelon stepped from the darkness. A silent exchange, a digital noose tightened, and the trap was finally set. The morning news broke like a storm: embezzlement, fraud, and the fall of an icon. Arthur's face was on every screen. Gina watched in silence. The man she loved was being led away in handcuffs, his empire crumbling into the dirt. The luxury of the penthouse was replaced by the cold steel of a cell. Arthur was no longer a king. He wasn't alone. In the corner, a massive durian loomed like a mountain of spikes, watching the new arrival with a grin. Days later, Sarah appeared behind the visitor's glass. She didn't come to comfort him. She came to witness her masterpiece. She mocked him through the phone, revealing the truth of the frame job. She had taken everything he owned with a single click. Outside, Gina and her child waited at a bus stop under the pouring rain. The world had abandoned them too. The shadowy watermelon pulled up. He wasn't there to hurt her. He had a debt to pay to a woman who lost everything. Inside the envelope was the evidence to destroy Sarah, a path to vengeance for the grape who had been left behind. The grand gala was Sarah's coronation. She was the new face of the industry, basking in the glow of stolen success. Suddenly, the music stopped. The giant screens flickered to life, showing the alleyway meeting and the digital trail of her betrayal. Gina entered the room, no longer the grieving wife, but the woman who had finally taken control of the narrative. The blueberry-colored police closed in. Sarah's empire lasted less than a week. The rot had caught up to her. Arthur heard the news and laughed. He thought his release was imminent. He thought Gina had saved him. But the guard arrived with a different set of papers. Gina hadn't just exposed Sarah. She had exposed him too. She had handed over his actual smuggling records. She ensured he would never walk free again for the sins he committed. Arthur fell to his knees as the realization hit him. He was truly alone, locked in a cage of his own making. In the corner, the durian began to sharpen a toothbrush, his grin wider than ever. The light flickered one last time. The truth always rots, and in this city some fruit is better left in the dark. Left.